Hello everybody, I'm going to try to teach everyone how to do a custom thumbnail for their YouTube channel. If you notice in our, like if you look at our videos, they all have a consistent look. Even though all the thumbnails are different, they have a consistent look throughout all of our thumbnails. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop. Also, you can use a program that's an open source program called Gimpshop, and it's free to download, and it has basically everything that Photoshop has. It's just a little different learning curve, and but it's free to use. I'll open it up also and kind of show you what Gimpshop looks like, but I'm going to show you the tutorial.
When the road calls, Madagazi travels. When the water falls, Madagazi travels. Where the free winds blow, that's where we go. Madagazi travels. Your family on the road.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up Photoshop, and it really doesn't matter what version of Photoshop you have. It should all work basically the same. We're going to start a new project, so you'll go up here to the File button and just click New. Now, mine is already set because I know the size and resolution that I want for my pictures. I try to set my resolution fairly high, sometimes up to 1500 pixels per square inch, but I've got this set basically where you can set it and you can always have a nice quality thumbnail. So when I post my YouTube videos, this is the resolution I posted in. So it's 1920 by 1080p, and then I have 300 pixels per square inch, and then I always start with the transparency. You can start with any of these backgrounds, but I always start with the transparency. Click OK, and right there, this is going to be your base layer. So if you look all the way to the right over here where my mouse is, that is layer number 1. So these are going to show all the things that you put on this thumbnail in different layers, and you want that because you want to be able to go under. Like if I just put something on here that's a picture, everything you put on top will just go on top. I want to be able to put pictures under, like our logo and stuff. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import the Madagazi Travels logo. So I'm going to click Open, and then I'm going to go to my hard drive is so like so many hard drives and so full that I've got kind of things everywhere, but I'm going to go to my logos, and then I'm going to pull up one called, I think it's just called Big Logo maybe. Here we go, Large New Logo, and I'm going to open that up. And now you can see that this is pretty big. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, there's File, Edit, and Image. Under Image, there's a thing that says Image Size. So look at that. That's 5200 pixels wide, and it's only a 72 resolution. So I'm going to set the resolution on 300, just like the picture. And then we want to make this a width that is going to fit easily into our thumbnail. So I want to make it 800 pixel wide. So okay, and then we'll just view it actual 100%, so you can see it's not really small. And then we're going to select all, which basically just selects the picture, edit, and then copy that. Now I'm going back to this is, let me show you in two different screens here. Okay, so this is two different images that I have open. So I have the logo, and then I have our base layer that we made. So what I like to do is I like to start with the gradient background. So there's, usually you open this up and it says paint bucket tool, but one of the options there is gradient tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in the gradient tool, if you put your little cursor at the top and go to the bottom, just hold your mouse down and go to the bottom, it makes a gradient. So see, it goes from blue, fades in to green. And now we're going to take what we just copied, which is the logo, and we're going to paste it onto this. So there's the logo. And now I'm going to use this moving tool, which is right here. It looks like a little plus sign with arrows on the end. I'm going to move that to wherever I think it looks good. I think it looks good there. And as you see on the right hand side now, where we used to have just the base layer, now we've got layer 2, which is the logo. So right click on the actual thing over here that says layer 2, and then at the top there's blending options. Now we want to give it some depth, so we're going to bevel the edges and contour it, which kind of gives it a rounded look on the edges. And then we're going to do a drop shadow. So you see how no shadow, shadow, and that kind of gives it a more deep feel, like it looks like it's more connected to the background. I'm even going to pull it out a little bit, and I'm going to diffuse it, which this right here will diffuse it. So see, kind of gives it a nice depth to it. Okay, so there's the logo, there's the background, basically 2 steps. Now over here on this side, you're going to have a shape tool. So there's rectangle, rounded rectangle, you know, all these shapes. So we're going to do a rounded rectangle, and down here in this green part, so this is where I'm going to put the title to all of my videos, like all the videos that we do. So I'm going to put that there. So I can click on this and kind of give, you know, it'll change things whichever way I want to change them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, let's see, I am going to put just a solid background, but I'm going to do a color overlay. So now we've got 3 different layers. So I'm going to go to the rounded rectangle tool. I'm going to do blending options again, and I'm going to do a color overlay, and let's choose some kind of crazy color. So let's do a red, just like the logo. So there's the red. It's like a red box. So we're going to click OK, OK. Now I want this to be full of red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here and choose the paint bucket tool. Okay, we're going to place this. So if we use the move tool, choose the background, choose the rectangle, and then I am going to fill that in with red. Alright, here goes. So now it's completely red. Now if you want to make that so you can still see, like if you put a picture behind it and you want to see the picture, what you can do is you can make it more opaque. You know, you can make it so you can see through it a lot easier. So basically that's blending options, and then under color overlay you'll just bring down the opacity and kind of gives you a nice look. Now what you can do with this is you want to save this as a Photoshop project. You're not going to save it as a picture, and then that way it keeps all these layers intact. And I'll show you why that's important. So I'm going to bring in a picture that just comes from one of our videos. So it's a screen capture from one of our videos. So here's this. That's you guys will probably recognize it. That's Belote. So now we have a picture of Belote. We have the background picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, just like I did in the last one. Edit, copy. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to edit, and then I'm going to paste. Now see, this is in the front. You can't see anything. But if you look over here, there's layer 1, layer 2. There is our rounded background, rectangle, and then we're going to drag that down until it's just on top of our background layer. So now you can see any picture that you get from your video, you can lay right behind this and then add your text right here. So it's just as easy to add text as this. So let's see, we're going to put, let's use a different color text so we can actually see what it looks like. We'll use green. Okay, so we're going to put that on top of that. So it says full-time. There we go. Alright. So it's going to say full-time RV family. And then I can make that as big as I want to fill in that gap. That's not even big enough. Let's make it that big, okay? So now you can see that that stands out. But I mean, for you, you can use whatever shape that you want here, whatever logo you have, or even a picture of yourself, and then just replace the backgrounds accordingly. Just keep this, and then what you do to save this is you will go to layer, you will merge down, and then you will go to layer, and then you will flatten this whole image. So now if you look, there's only one thing left. Okay, so here we are, basically two different components, and just a few simple steps. So the first step was I'm gonna take some of this off just so we can see it again. So this is the first step. Now I don't particularly use the red and green, so I'm going to change that gradient to black and white. So it's just like that. So I want the white to be at the top, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that. So you can just go up here if you want to undo it. You can push edit, undo gradient, but also if you want a shortcut you can push Control Alt Z. So instead of starting at the top where the black would start, I'm going to start at the bottom and go up. So now you can see the black is at the bottom, the white is at the top. Now I'm going to re-import the logo. So it's the same thing. Select all, edit, copy. Select the picture you want to copy to, edit, paste. Use the moving tool and then move it to where you want it. Okay? And then we're going to use this rounded rectangle tool. So I want just a full, I don't want the exterior. I want it to be just a full, square. And so I'm going to choose the second one in this list. It's basically, if you choose this one, it's going to be an exterior. It's just going to be the outside of it. I want it to be full. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to make a little rectangle. Well, not such a little rectangle. As you can see, it's all black. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I can go up here and I can choose a different color. Let's say I choose yellow. And then on the exterior of it, I choose yellow. And now it's all yellow. Now what I'm going to do is I want to make it see-through. So we've got 3 layers now. We have the base layer, which has a gradient. We have the second layer, which has your logo. And we have the third layer, which is this large yellow rectangular box. So I'm going to go over here to my layers, and I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to push the top thing, blending options. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a color overlay, which looks kind of weird, doesn't it? But it works really well. Here, actually, we're going to do just the opacity of the whole picture. So you just choose blending options and you make it kind of see-through. So that's all you have to do on that. So let's go through that one more time, okay? So it's easy. So 3 layers, the layer that you want, choose the layer you want. You can see over here, that's a yellow rectangle. That is your logo. That is your background. So choose the yellow rectangle, or whatever you put there, whatever shape you want, and then blending options, and then as soon as it comes up, this is opacity, so how much you can see through it. We're going to move it down till you can see pretty well through it, just like that. And we're going to push OK. So that's it. From this point, you have got a custom thumbnail. You can put whatever picture you want on here, whatever words you want in here. So if I'm going to type something in, I will use the text tool, and I will come down here, and let's make sure that we're all mounted up here, and then I will use the text tool, and I'm going to type living in and RV. And then I'm going to make that bigger. So I'm going to highlight it and go up here just like you do in Word, just like you do in most things. I'll make that a 36. Let's make it even bigger. Let's make it a 48. Okay, it's a really nice big logo. I mean, nice big words. So now all you have to do, you don't have to do anything else. You can just bring a picture into this. So I'm going to show you how I bring a background picture in. So I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to open a background picture. Just it's a snapshot that we took of one of our videos. See there, it's below. And then I'm just going to bring that in and lay it right on top. So all I did was, this is the picture. I just clicked it and drug it over there and put it in. Let me show you one more time, okay? So I'm going to undo. Okay, so here's the picture that you brought in. I'm clicking on it, left click, hold it, and drag it right over there. And then we're going to line it up. So now it's all lined up. And then over here now you see the picture. It is the top layer, layer number 4. I want it to be under living in an RV. I want it to be under the rounded rectangle. I want it to be underneath the logo. So all I got to do is click it, right click it, or left click it, hold it down, and bring it down. Just slide it down. And now it's underneath everything. And so there you go. You have it. You know, if you want to make it stand out more, there's a lot of other options that you can do, but I may have to cover that in a different tutorial. Like I'll show you how to make, I'll give you just a quick glimpse of what you can do. So if I go to the living in an RV text and click blending options, I can bevel the edges, see how it made it deep like 3D, and contour it. And then inside that I can actually make it bigger. You know, I can make those that depth a little bit bigger so it looks, you know, a little bit more deep. And then I will do a drop shadow. Wow, see how that popped out? Now I'm going to do the same thing with the rounded rectangle. Blending options, and then bevel, contour, and then I'm going to do a drop shadow for it. Now see how that drop shadow is very light for that. So you can go here, you know, make the spread a little bit more maybe. And there you go. Everything sort of pops out now. But I hope that this helps. I'm going to try to do this tutorial a little bit more simple in the future. If you think that it was a little too complicated and you want me to slow down and do it one part at a time, just leave something in the comments, leave a comment, and let me know. But for now, that can be your custom, you know, that's the way to make your custom thumbnails for your YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Okay, this is Gimpshop. It kind of had the same look as Photoshop. There are a few differences. You can see here that I've kind of started creating a custom thumbnail. I used the gradient tool on this too. So, but at first we create a new thumbnail, and so I put the size in, and on this you have to use advanced options and put in the 300 resolution and make sure that you're locked in place. The resolution is locked. If it's unlocked, lock it and put 300 as your resolution, your pixels per square inch. And then I choose transparency as my background. There are other options in that too, but as you can see, there's the transparency, and then I just basically use the gradient tool just like I do in Photoshop. You know, it shows you it's black and white. You can see on the left there it's black and white. Start at the bottom, so the darkest color is on the bottom, and it comes up and it's just like the one that we created before. Now I've resized my logo, and I copy it, edit, cut, and then I just paste it on my background. So edit, paste, and then I use that select tool again, the moving tool, same as Photoshop, and move it over into place. You know, it's fairly similar. There's a lot that you can do with it. I'm not exactly a pro at it, but you know, hopefully you'll be able to use it and you know, kind of figure it out. I hope that helped. I know it seems a little complicated at first, but once you get the idea down, it's pretty easy, and you keep that template. And so you just add new pictures, add new words, but keep the template, and you can have a really consistent thumbnail across all of your YouTube videos. And that way people can recognize your videos. In a crowd of videos, they will recognize your video. So, all right, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're Madagascar, we're living in an RV.